Dear learners, welcome you all to my today's online class. Hope that you all are hale and hearty by the grace of Almighty Allah. Today I am going to deliver the lecture on lesson 3 and 4 from your science book, page number 121 to 123. In my first lecture, you have learnt about the astronomical objects and their creation. I believe that you have completed that part properly. Very soon I will take your test, so take the preparation quite nicely. Let's start the class. Our today's topic is the identity of the sun, the moon and the earth. Let's know about the sun. You have already known that our sun is one of the stars of the Milky Way galaxy and it's also known as the regulator of the solar system. Remember that the sun produces a huge amount of heat and light. Very little amount of heat and light reach to our earth. So what will be the characteristics, or what are the characteristics of the sun? The sun is an astronomical object of the universe. Sun is a bright star of the solar system because it has its own light. It is a ball of hot burning gases because it consists of 55% of hydrogen, 44% of helium and 1% of other gases. It is the nearest star of the earth. The light from the sun takes approximately 8 minutes to reach the earth and the surface temperature of the sun is 57,000 degrees Celsius. How do we get heat and light from the sun? Actually, the sun is a lump of gases. Hydrogen gas and other gases held together in it due to gravitational force. Hydrogen gas at the time of mutual interactions with each other produces huge amount of heat and light. Then the heat and light is scattered in all directions and we get heat and light of the sun. Dear learners, nothing is more important to us on earth than the sun. Without the sun's heat and light, the earth would be a lifeless ball of ice-coated rock. So we can say the sun is our supply of daylight. It is the enormous bright yellow circle that we see in the sky in daytime. We will know now the importance of the sun. Astronomy believes that the sun is one of the many stars of our galaxy, Milky Way, and which the earth orbits. It is also the only foundation of energy for the entire living things on earth. So let's know the importance. The trees produce food using sunlight and provide oxygen for the life on earth. The existence of animals too depend on the production of food by the plants. We know all plants use sunlight to make food in the process of photosynthesis and they store the food in their leaves and the energy flows to other animals. Next, sun also delivers energy to the ecosystem through heat and light. The sun warms our oceans and air and creates the weather patterns. The sun impacts soils and water. That means sun helps to the water cycle due to evaporation process. So the water evaporation is part of the water cycle and adequate heat and light is needed for plants to grow. Natural sunlight hits the skin and triggers the body's production of vitamin D. It is also known as the sunshine vitamin. Next, it is a free mood enhancer and sun can make people feel better and have more energy. Sunlight increases the levels of serotonin in the brain. So serotonin, one element which is crucial in maintaining a sense of well-being and which is associated with improved mood. The earth is not going to be very cold as the heat is coming from the sun. Otherwise, earth would be a lifeless ball of ice-coated rock. The energy of sunlight is also necessary to produce electricity using solar panel. Next, we will know about the moon. You know, the moon is the only one natural satellites of our earth. And our Earth orbits around the Sun, keeping it in center. Similarly, the Moon orbits around the Earth, keeping it in the center. Now let's know the characteristics of Moon. The Moon is an astronomical body orbiting Earth as its only natural satellite, and the Moon is the second densest satellite and the fifth largest satellite of the solar system. The Moon's surface is dark as it cannot produce heat and light. The Sun and Moon are not the same size. Assume if the size of the Sun is like a football, then the Earth will be equal to a sand particle. It takes 27 days and 8 hours to orbit the Earth once. As a result, the Moon does not seem to be spinning but appears to observers from Earth to be keeping almost perfectly still. The volume of Moon is 1/50th of the Earth. Let's know the colors of the stars. Stars have different colors. That is, our Sun, which is the medium size of star, it radiates yellowish color of light. Then blue, small star, which are the hottest, and red, the large stars, but they are coolest. And there are also some white stars. Let's know about the Earth. 8 planets orbit around the Sun, keeping it in its center, and the Earth is one of the planets of the solar system. And the shape of the Earth is like a sphere. So, the Earth is the third closest planet of the Sun. It has an area of 510,100,242 square kilometer. The average distance of the Earth from the Sun is 150 million kilometer, or we can say 15 crore kilometer away. It orbits the Sun once in 365 days, 5 hours, 48 minutes and 47 seconds. It has sufficient oxygen and nitrogen as well. For this reason, we can survive in this Earth. The average temperature of the surface of the Earth is 13.90 degree Celsius at surface temperature, and the Earth is the only planet which is ideal for living for the creatures and plants. It possesses the only one natural satellite, that is the Moon. Now we will know how the Earth was formed step by step. If we look at the flow chart, we will observe that here is written creation of Earth. When dust particles came together, the Earth was too hot, so much hot at the beginning that the Earth's surface would boil with bubbles, and there was no liquid water, which is essential for life. There was no oxygen in the atmosphere also. So, should the Earth remains in that state, the appearance of light would not be possible. After cooling down slowly, atmosphere and water was created, and after that increase in the amount of oxygen and nitrogen in the atmosphere, then the Earth became a suitable planet to live. So first, the Earth's rocky core formed first, and with heavy elements colliding and binding together, and dense material sank to the center while the lighter material created the crust. The planet's magnetic field probably formed around this time, and gravity captured some of the gases that made up the planet's early atmosphere. So, gradually the heat was released and the Earth cooled down. At the time of cooling, heavy particles went towards the center, and the light particles remained near the surface of the Earth, and gaseous substances such as carbon dioxide, water vapor, methane, carbon monoxide, etc. formed the layer atmosphere. After that, the Earth cooled down more, and the water vapor converted to liquid water, which created the sea, and the amount of oxygen and nitrogen increased in the atmosphere. These elements are essential for our life. Now let's see a video about the creation of the Earth.
A gigantic cloud of cosmic dust and gas over 4.5 billion years ago. This is the beginning. The tiny pieces start sticking together. The small particles fuse to make bigger chunks. This does not stop until they create a sphere, the Earth. Its surface temperature is higher than glowing red-hot iron, and it is entirely liquid. Many meteorites fall from space, hitting the young planet and making it boil. But soon, fewer meteorites fall, and the Earth calms down. light and heavy matter separate inside it, just like oil floating on water. The different layers of the Earth start to form. The surface cools down. What was liquid becomes a solid crust. It is thin and fragile and has many cracks. Liquid, red-hot magma and huge amounts of steam force their way to the surface. The steam forms thick clouds. It rains for years on end until oceans begin to form. And oceans worth of water may have reached the Earth from deep space, as ice on asteroids or comets. The volcanoes on the ocean bed spew magma. The fiery rock cools, forming volcanic islands. They join together to make continents, and finally form a supercontinent, Pangaea. But the Earth's crust is still restless. Pangaea breaks apart and its pieces float away on top of the Earth's mantle. Slowly they turn into the continents we live on now.
So, today up to this, thank you all. Stay safe, stay blessed.